The first White House cabinet meeting, you have Elon Musk there asking questions or answering questions about Doge. Of course, everybody wants transparency. To me, it looks like Doge is being very transparent. It looks like Elon Musk is being very transparent. It looks like Donald Trump, President Donald John Trump, is being very transparent. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on in this White House cabinet meeting. I appreciate the transparency. I definitely want to see exactly where all of our money is going to. So let's take a look.
And based on many things in the border, balancing budgets and getting our country back into shape. And this is a big part of it. So Elon, if you could get up and explain where you are, how you're doing, and how much we're successful guy. He's really working so hard, and he's got businesses to run. And in many ways, I say, how do you do this? And, he's sacrificing a lot and getting a lot of praise, I'll tell you. But he's also getting hit, and we would expect that, and that's the way it works. So I'd like to have Elon Musk please say a few words.
Before Elon gets started, I don't understand what the pushback is. You have a lot of people that they're like, okay, we want to see transparency. We want to see where our taxpayer dollars is going, but we don't like the way that they're going about it. Well, nothing was being done before, and what they are uncovering, it looks like crime. So, okay, maybe there needs to be some tuning up and some adjustments here on their approach. Cool, but the amount and level of outcry and people who are upset and screaming and yelling and talking about Elon Musk is trying to steal your information, is trying to steal money from the American taxpayers. No, they are trying to prevent the American taxpayers from being stolen from. This is the point of Doge, Department of Government Efficiency. So also, if people are getting fired, that means they are not efficient. That means that maybe they are working and they don't need to be, or maybe they're not working at all and they have second jobs. This is what they're trying to uncover. Why in the world would you want a bunch of people that taxpayers pay for? Why would you want a bunch of people working if they're not working? It doesn't make any sense. Or should I say, why would you want to continue to pay them, continue to employ them if they are not working, if they're not doing what they're supposed to do, if they're not answering a simple email? Answer the email, man. 5 bullet points. It's easy. I do it all the time. I don't understand why the pushback, but let's hear Brother Elon Musk talk about it.
Thank you, Elon.
Thank you, Mr. President. I actually just call myself a humble tech support here because this is actually, as crazy as it sounds, that is almost a literal description of the work that the Doge team is doing, is helping fix the government computer systems. Many of these systems are extremely old. They don't communicate. There are a lot of mistakes in the systems. The software doesn't work. So we are actually tech support. It's ironic that it's true. The overall goal here with the Doge team is to help address the enormous deficit. We simply cannot sustain as a country $2 trillion deficits. The interest rates, just the interest on the national debt, now exceeds the Defense Department spending. We spend a lot on the Defense Department, but we're spending over $1 trillion on interest. If this continues, the country will become de facto bankrupt. It's not an optional thing, it is an essential thing. That's the reason I'm here. And taking a lot of flack, and getting a lot of death threats, by the way. I mean, I like to stack them up, But if we don't do this, America will go bankrupt. That's why it has to be done. And I'm confident at this point, knock on wood, knock on my wooden head, there's a lot of wood up there, that we can actually find $1 trillion in savings. That would be roughly 15% of the $7 trillion budget. And obviously that can only be done with the support of everyone in this room. And I'd like to thank everyone for your support. Thank you very much. This can only be done with your support.
Real quick, and it's the support of the American people. What you're seeing from the left, what you're seeing from the progressives, the Democrats, you're seeing manufactured outrage. Okay, they're trying to convince American people that they're mad about the transparency that Doge, Elon Musk, and President Donald Trump. They're trying to convince you and me that we should be upset about what we're seeing. No, we are upset about what we're discovering. Yes, what's being exposed, but we're not upset with Elon Musk and Doge for exposing it. We want to see the wasteful spending. We want to see, man, is there fraud? What's going on with with this money that's going out? It seems crazy. I mean, it's crazy dollar amounts and what they are for, what the money is being allocated for seems ridiculous. So we want investigations. We want to find out, expose it all. The American public is not upset about it. The people that are outraged about this seems to be only the politicians, and more specifically, the Democrats. Outraged. They are outraged not because they have the American citizen in mind. They're outraged because of what is going to be exposed. And maybe, just maybe, some of them are going to go to prison. We'll see.
It's really, Doge is a support function for the president and for the agencies and departments to help achieve those savings and to effectively find 15% in reduction in fraud and waste. And we bring the receipts. So people say, like, well, is this real? Just go to doge.gov. We line item by line item, we specify each item. So, and I should say, we will make mistakes. We won't be perfect, but
Doge.gov, and like Elon said, they will make mistakes. You make mistakes. I make mistakes. People make mistakes. Okay. But at least something is being done about it. And when they make mistakes, they're quick to correct it.
when we make a mistake, we'll fix it very quickly. So, for example, with USAID, one of the things we accidentally canceled very briefly was Ebola, Ebola prevention. I think we all want Ebola prevention. So we restored the Ebola prevention immediately, and there was no interruption. But we do need to move quickly if we're to achieve a $1 trillion deficit reduction in financial year 2026. It requires saving $4 billion per day, every day, from now through the end of September. But we can do it, and we will do it. Thank you.
Would you have any questions of Elon while we're on the subject of Doge? Because we'll finish off with that. And if you would have any questions, please, we'll finish off with that. And if you would have any questions, please ask. You could ask me or Elon. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Musk. I just wanted to ask you that President Trump put out a Truth Social today saying that everybody in the cabinet was happy with you. I just wondered if you had heard otherwise, and if so, what are you doing to address those any dissatisfaction?
Hey, Elon, let the cabinet speak just for a second. Is anybody unhappy with Elon? If you are, well, throw him out of here. I have a lot of respect for Elon and that he's doing this, and some disagree a little bit, but I will tell you, for the most part, I think everyone's disagree a little bit, but I will tell you, for the most part, I think everyone's not only happy, they're thrilled. So go ahead, Elon.
Grateful.
Ever. Literally. So, I do not give false praise. This is an incredible group of people. I don't think such a talented team has actually ever been assembled. I think it's literally the best cabinet that the country has ever had, and I think the company should be incredibly appreciative of the people in this room.
Thank you. Go ahead, please. Yeah.
Mr. President, thank you, Mr. Musk. Are there about half of the government employees so far appear to have responded to your request for what they've been doing over the past week? Is there a timeline in place for next moves for people being fired, and when can the American people expect to see results of that?
Yes. Well, to be clear, like I think that email perhaps was best interpreted as a performance review, but actually it was a pulse check review. Do you have a pulse? Do you have a pulse and 2 neurons? So if you have a pulse and 2 neurons, you can reply to an email. This is, I think not a high bar, is what I'm saying. This is, anyone could accomplish this. But what we are trying to get to the bottom of is we think there are a number of people on the government payroll who are dead, which is probably why they can't respond. And some people who are not real people, like they're literally fictional individuals that are collecting paychecks. Well, somebody's collecting paychecks on a fictional individual. So we're just literally trying to figure out, are these people real? Are they alive? And can they write an email? Which I think is a reasonable expectation for the American public would have at least that expectation of someone in the public sector.
How hard is it to respond with an email with 5 bullet points of what you've done over the last week? It's simple. So simple, especially if you're doing your job. They are trying to weed out the people that don't exist or the people that are not working. And if you're not working, you should just be happy that you've collected basically a free check for however long you've collected a free check, because there's plenty of people out here that works very hard they work very hard for their salaries or their hourly wage. So if we, the taxpayers, don't have a problem with this, why in the world would you have a problem with it? Send the email. Send the email. Simple.
Mr. Musk, roughly 1 million employees.
Come on.
Roughly 1 million employees have responded so far to this email. Does that mean that the remaining 1 million or so federal employees now risk being terminated? And is it your understanding and expectation when you post a directive on X that the cabinet secretaries will follow that order? Because several agencies have instructed employees that this is voluntary or not to respond.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it was like last week, the president encouraged me via Truth Social and also via phone call to be more aggressive. And I was like, okay, yes, sir, Mr. President, we will indeed do that. The president is a commander asks. And I said, can we send out an email to everyone just saying, what did you get done last week? And the president said yes, so it did that. We got a partial response. We're going to send another email. But our goal is not to be capricious or unfair. We want to give people every opportunity to send an email. And the email could simply be, what I'm working on is too sensitive or classified to describe. Like literally just, that would be sufficient. I think this is just common sense.
And what is your target number for how many workers, employees you're looking to cut total?
We wish to keep everyone who is doing a job that is essential and doing that job well. But if the job is not essential or they're not doing the job well, they obviously should not be on the public payroll.
Wait a minute. I'd like to add that those million people that haven't responded, though, Elon, they are on the bubble. I wouldn't say that we're thrilled about it. They haven't responded. Now, maybe they don't exist. Maybe we're paying people. Now, maybe they don't exist. Maybe we're paying people that don't exist. Don't forget, we just got here. This group just got here. But those people are on the bubble, as they say. Maybe they're going to be gone. Maybe they're not around. Maybe they have other jobs. Maybe they moved and they're not where they're supposed to be. A lot of things could have happened. I wouldn't say that Biden ran a very tight administration. They spent money like nobody's ever spent money before, wasted money. The Green New Scam, all of the different things they spent money on. And you've seen that. We've seen that with some of the things that I read in speeches. I read them and people can't believe when I read them. 20 million here, 30 million here for, a little educational course on something. Circumcision, right? Circumcision. $20 million to inform the people of such and such a country on other things and other things other than that. So, those people are, right now we're trying to find out who those people are that haven't responded. Now, there'll be some agencies, like Marco has people within state that are right now doing very classified, very confidential work, and we understand that. We've talked, and we're being a little more.
I don't have a problem with it. And I have yet to talk to anyone that I personally know that has a problem with this. It seems like a lot of this stuff is manufactured. They want people, and when I say they, I'm talking about the politicians, the Democrats in particular. They want American citizens to be outraged, but it doesn't make any sense. We want to see where our money is going. And if it's wasteful, then we don't want to pay taxes on that. We don't want our money going to things that just looks nefarious. We don't want people enriching themselves off of our money. Right now, it just looks like the United States citizens, we take care of the world. We finance the world, man. Why? Some of this stuff is crazy. And if we can get some of our money back, and if the taxes can be lowered, that's more money into our pocket. That's more money we can spend. Just to boost the economy. Yeah, why not spend more money and going out and doing things like that? Maybe buying more stocks, but that has to be cleared up too. But let's get to this next video. I thought it was interesting. A government employee called in on the Breakfast Club, one of my favorite shows for a long time, video podcast, but it's interesting what this government employee says, and I totally agree with her. Take a look.
Well, let's go to the phone lines. We got a bunch of federal workers on the line that want to talk. God. What's your name?
Hello?
Hey, good morning. What's your name?
Yes. Good morning. I want to stay anonymous, but I do work for the federal government.
All right.
Can you at least tell us where?
Yes, in Florida, Miami, Florida.
No, I mean, like what branch? Like what do you do in the government?
Oh, Department of Human Services.
Okay.
Well, now what's up? How are you feeling? Did you get one of those emails? Talk to us.
Yes, I got the email, and I honestly feel like this is a great opportunity to outline what you as an employee bring to the bring to the federal government. And if it's really good what you outline, they could give you an opportunity to get a promotion or something. Like, God forbid, they ask you what you've done. Any other job, they'll ask you at the end of the week, at the end of the month, because I used to do bookkeeping. Okay, so what did we do, at the end of the month? What are the clients that we have to, gear towards to? So at the end of the day, God forbid anybody make any, and it's this democratic thing. It's like, I don't want to get the parties into it, but they don't want to go to work. They want to work from home. People are not working from home. This is what you signed up for. If you don't like it, resign. You know what I'm saying? They gave you the opportunity to find another job. I mean, it's not that hard. You're complaining about actually working. I don't get it.
I'm not mad at your perspective. That's why I like talking to people. I like talking to people, and I like talking to people who are in it, because everybody sees things a different way. I haven't heard this perspective.
Do you feel like there are a lot of people that are not working, that are taking days off? I guess exactly what Trump and Elon are saying.
Absolutely. I work from home, and do you know what? Donald Trump got the gadget idea because Elon Musk, he fired like 80% of the Twitter people or Tesla people for his company, because you can buy a gadget that actually shakes up like you're at the desk, but you're really not working, because the computers, it shuts off if it's non-activity within like 5 minutes. So it requires you to actually work from home. But it's gadgets around that, and people are actually buying it and using it and not working. And this is our taxpayers' money, and you have to work.
Yeah,
you don't like it, get another job.
I understand what you're saying, but you can't just take a wrecking ball to the infrastructure of the federal government and just start firing people all willy-nilly. Because what about those people who work at the nuclear workers, who they fired and then ended up realizing like, oh, we need these people, or the people who work at I think it was the USDA, who were overseeing the bird flu. You can't just fire them.
I agree. Right, I agree with you on that. But the people that's complaining about writing the email, it's going to take, 5 minutes out of your day, 10 minutes? I read on Twitter, the guy was complaining, it's going to be an hour. It takes you an hour to write 5 things that you completed, okay, maybe you do need another job.
Oh, so you agree with it? Okay, thank you, Mama.
A great perspective. That's why you got to talk to people. Stop talking about people you never talk to.
Well, you know, a lot of people feel like after COVID, a lot of people take that quote unquote time working at home and they don't really work. And a lot of people have been saying that for the longest time. But then when people are forced to come back, they say, well, because mental health reasons, I don't want to come back. And a lot of jobs are saying we lose a lot of money because they feel when people work with each other, they get more done. They get more accomplished.
But it's not like...
I agree with the lady. I think she has a great attitude when it comes to this. Okay, look, I've said this many times before. I've worked for big corporations. I work for a big corporation now. Whenever they decide, hey, we need to do some cost savings, or if we get a new CEO and he brings in his new people, guess what? Cost savings. And I'm one of the first departments. I'm one of the very first people that they talk to, because they want to know, hey, I'm in supply chain, I'm in purchasing. Can we get our raw material or whatever? Can we get a better price? You know, we want a better price. And now I got to do it all over again. That's every single time we get a new CEO. That's the first thing they want to do. They want to cost savings. They want to see how can we, where can we cut spending, and hourly people. They don't want them going into overtime. You know, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that every time this is done is correct, but this is just part of. It's just part of what happens. In a corporation. It is what it is. Donald Trump, President Donald John Trump, this is what they want. And to be fair, also, just keep this in mind. I have shaved off so much spending. I mean, we're talking millions of dollars I have saved many a times. And you'd be surprised how willing your suppliers are to work with you. They are willing to work with you because they don't want to lose your business. Okay. If you are a government employee and you are working hard and you're doing your job and you are effective, you don't have a problem with this. You'll be able to shoot that email back, no problem. If you're sitting in a situation where you're dealing with classified sensitive information, okay, they've already addressed that. You say that. No problem. But going out here and with all this rhetoric and manufactured anger, no, it's all a distraction. It's all a distraction because they don't want Doge to look deeper and to find more corruption and crime. That's what they want. And this is what it is. It is what it is, man. But the American citizens, okay, I'll speak for my group of people, my friends and my family and my friends that are like family. I've talked to a lot of people. Nobody has a problem with what Doge is doing. I even have relatives that do work for the government. Nobody has problems. Nobody has problems sending an email. Nobody has problems with the transparency. There's going to be mistakes made. You make mistakes in your life. I make mistakes in my life. People make mistakes at their jobs. Things happen. Doge corrects them. Okay. If people that were not supposed to be fired get fired and they bring them back, okay, that's cool. You made a mistake. Fine. I've seen it happen at my job. I've seen them fire people and bring people back. It happens. It's probably happened at your job. So it is what it is. I'm okay. Doge, Department of Government Efficiency. Great job, Elon Musk. Great job, President Donald John Trump. And I do agree with the caller that called into the Breakfast Club. It's all about attitude, right? Okay. It's all about attitude. And I also agree when Elon Musk said that the cabinet that they have, great cabinet, man. I call them the Avengers.